wanted to make this for you. If you're going through your benzo taper now and you're really struggling, I do understand that with all of the celebrations going on around you, things can seem so detached. Everyone's making their New Year's resolutions. They're all making huge plans for the new year. I understand how lonely and isolated you can feel. This video is not about resolutions. It's not about fresh starts. I understand that you can feel alone during this time. So I just want to make this video for you to sit and chat with you for a little while. If I'm honest, I never really know what I'm going to talk about when I make these videos. But if you've watched me before, I'm sure you'll understand that my great passion is benzodiazepine taper and withdrawal. I understand you may be sitting on your phone, scrolling through videos, trying to make sense of the chaos. Sadly, during this time, the chaos we experience during our taper can be all-consuming and seem like it will never end. But before I go any further through this video, I do want you to know that you will heal. I'm going to go through a few different things in this video and hopefully show you that there is a way through the hell you're facing now. I also want to share this with you. For the last 8 years, with the exception of my daughter and medical professionals, I have lived in virtual isolation. It didn't start by choice, it was survival. I had to disconnect from the world. I was so disconnected from everything around me. I am sorry if I repeat some of the things in this video, as I never really know what I'm going to talk about. Just so you have a little bit more background information about me, I was basically born at rock bottom. My childhood was not great, to say the least, and that led me down a very dark path of addiction. From the age of 9 years old to the age of 49 years old, I was a full-blown addict. Nobody ever knew. Nobody had a clue, as I was a very high-functioning individual. I also ran several successful businesses, traveled the world, worked in the nightclub industry for 30 years, as well as several other things. And nobody ever knew the pain and the darkness I was in. And I do know what it is like to be alone. Even if you're around your whole family during this time, you can feel totally cut off and isolated from the world. But this video is not about self-pity. This video is not about feeling sad about the situation we are in now. Despite living in an addiction hell for 40 years, I honestly have come to understand that today is all that matters. And that is why I have named my channel as such. And despite the life I have lived, that is why the vast majority of my videos are covering the topics of benzodiazepines. I do know where you may well be right now when you're watching this video. And I do want you to know that nothing lasts forever. I have also battled with a lifetime of anxiety, depression, and multiple traumatic episodes throughout my life. One of those things was the loss of my first daughter. That is basically when reality broke for me. I firmly believed, because of my childhood, that I was wicked and evil. That is what I was taught growing up. And I don't really want to go on too much about my childhood, because we are born into the lives we are born. And this video is not about self-pity. This video is not about feeling sorry for yourself. I just want to sit and connect with you a little while, because I do know where you are right now. You can look around you and feel detached from everything. You can look down at your own hands and they can feel like they're not your own. That is called depersonalisation and derealisation, But I don't want to talk about all of the nightmare symptoms you can experience during your taper. I just want to sit with you and chat a little while and let you know that you truly are not alone. We can all heal from the nightmare of a benzo taper. We can all heal from the chaos within ourselves that occurs during this time. Making these videos is a very strange experience for me. Until earlier this year, I had been practically deaf in my right side my whole life, and I got a hearing aid. So for the first time in my life, I am actually able to hear what I sound like when I talk. And it's a very surreal experience. I have mentioned this before, that doing these videos is a rather uncomfortable thing for me to do. I'm not what you'd call an extrovert. I'm more of a friendly introvert. I did start studying mental health and addiction related issues over 25 years ago. That was not long after the loss of my first daughter. I wanted to understand what was happening within my mind. I had already been into health and fitness from a very young age, and I do truly believe that is one of the reasons why I am still here today. And I'm making this video for you to let you know that no matter how dark things feel right now, you will get through this pain. You will get through the nightmare you're facing. I understand what it's like to feel burnt out, totally and utterly exhausted from all of the chaos going on within your mind and within your body. Your nervous system is in permanent fight or flight mode. And I understand you can see all of this fake cheer around you, everybody making all of their resolutions that this year is going to be different. But that is not why I'm making these videos for people who have grand plans for the next year. I understand that you may be struggling to make it through the next hour, never mind the next week or the next year. And that is why I want to just sit and chat with you. I want to let you know right now, when you're watching this, that you are safe and that you will heal. There is so much negativity online. The online world is so fake, full of people pretending to be something they're not, all living a life of perfection, no anxiety, no depression. But I've also spent many years working in the nightclub industry, so I do have a very good grasp of how people truly are. I understand that we all wear the mask of a person who has his shit together. I understand that we can go through things in life that can truly break us. And I have lived a dark life, a life of pain, a life of anxiety, and a life of sadness, never belonging anywhere. Even when I worked in the nightclub industry, I was always wearing the mask of a happy person. Nobody ever knew how much pain I was truly in. And that is why I make this for you, because I do understand where you are right now. But I also know that you can get through this. I'm going to just run through a few different things for you now, and hopefully we can just come to an understanding that even though where you are right now may be total chaos and nothing but hell, nothing lasts forever. Nothing is permanent. Happiness, sadness, anxiety, depression, they all come and they all go. That is what makes a benzodiazepine withdrawal and taper so horrific and brutal. This is because benzos work by attaching themselves to your GABA receptors within your brain. And GABA is your brain's natural calming ability. So when you're tapering off your benzos, or if you've gone into tolerance withdrawal, which is when the meds just stop working, your mind has no way of calming down. I remember in my previous home, as I was going through my taper, I was a single parent. My daughter would be at school during the day, and I would just sit on my sofa. I was frozen, waiting for the night time to come, waiting for my daughter to get in from school. I would make her food, sit and read with her for a little while, try to watch a TV show with her, but all the time I was just in chaos within my mind. I truly do know the pain. I really do. And then once my daughter would go to bed, I would drink. I was a full-blown alcoholic from the age of 15 years old up until I was 49. And I would wait every evening for my daughter to go to bed, and I would just drink as much as I possibly could to black out the chaos within my mind. And now I am not recommending anybody do this, because drinking and benzos are a very dangerous combination. I am very lucky to be here now making this video for you, and I speak from a personal lived experience. I have also, as I mentioned earlier, been studying mental health and addiction related issues for a very long time. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist. I do have one more course to complete, then I will be a fully qualified therapist in the UK. After many years of studying and self-experimentation, I truly do understand what works. We need to create a small and easy, simple to follow self-care routine. I also understand that during this time, insomnia is one of the worst things you can experience. And I do know that you can just feel so disconnected. Sleep can seem impossible to come by. Now, there are several SSRIs that you can take that will help you to get just a little bit of sleep, but those are things you would have to speak with your doctor about. I cannot recommend SSRIs to you. I am not a believer in medications for mental health, but there are certain SSRIs that you can take during this time that will help you deal with the horrendous insomnia you can face. Please talk with your doctor about that. They may be able to give you some advice on what may be beneficial. But I also want to let you know that I was on SSRIs for over 30 years, and I was also on benzos for 17 years, and I went into full-blown tolerance withdrawal. Towards the end of my benzo usage, I was taking between 20 and 40 milligrams of lorazepam per day. Now, I understand that may sound impossible, but that is what tolerance withdrawal is. You have to take more and more of the medication to get the same effect. And my usage skyrocketed. Initially, when I was first prescribed benzos, I was taking 10 milligrams of Valium. I was in hell. And it wasn't until I started to implement the small, simple routine of self-care throughout my day that I would start to notice improvements. The anxiety and the chaos in your mind may not subside at first, but with a small, simple, easy to follow routine, concentrate on your self-care and your breathing, your mind and your body will learn to understand that you are safe. You will learn to live your life for the day. Try to keep your home environment as calm as you possibly can. You can see around me, my home is a very dark blue, and I live a life of calm, peace, no anxiety, no depression. And as I said before, I was on SSRIs for 30 years, and benzos. I have taken virtually every SSRI you can name. I also took many of the different benzos. I started on Valium, Then I progressed on to Xanax, Ambien, lorazepam. I have taken them all in an attempt to heal myself, all in an attempt to calm the chaos. But that's not possible with the medications. What I have come to truly understand through many decades of learning and lived experience is that slow, mindful breathing and mindfulness are two of the most important things you can do. You slowly breathe in through your nose and then you breathe slowly out through your mouth. And I will sit with you now and do a slow, deep breath. When you do the breath, along with the mindfulness of looking around you and bringing yourself back to the present moment where you are now, that will help your mind to know that you're safe, and it will also calm down your central nervous system. So if you remember what I said, we're just going to sit together and we're going to get comfortable. And what we do is we breathe in slowly through our nose, deep down into our diaphragm, and then slowly out through our mouth, keeping the exhale longer than the inhale. If you would like to, you can count to 4 on the inhale and 6 on the exhale. That one single breath can be enough just to separate you from the chaos that is going on within you. You can also sit when it all becomes too much. Try to take 5 slow, deep, mindful breaths and tell yourself that all of the chaos going on within your mind, all of the tension you're feeling within your body, it's your mind's natural defense system trying to make sense of all the chaos that is going on. But in truth, we cannot make sense of the madness that is occurring in our minds and our bodies during this time. I would also like to recommend that you stay away from toxic groups. I remember when I was doing my taper, I would look on certain groups on Facebook and all I would see was negativity, self-pity, and pain. And that is not what you need. I have lived a life due to my mentality and my low self-worth and self-esteem to believe that I always deserved all of the bad things that were happening to me. I never felt self-pity. I never felt sorry for myself. I have come to realize through hindsight that having a positive attitude that you will heal from where you are now is one of the most beneficial things you can do. Along with your breathing, a small, simple routine for your self-care. I know you'll make it through the place you're in now. One of the sad things about benzodiazepines and SSRIs is that they do not fix the issues you're facing. They mask the symptoms and they allow all of the darkness to grow within you. So when you're coming off your medications, all of the anxiety, all of the depression, all of the chaos and all of the problems that you had before have been dialed up 1,000-fold. And that is why you're experiencing all of the nightmare symptoms that you are going through now. But I do know, again, I always want to get this through to you, that you will heal from where you are now. You will get through this pain. You will notice I am a very heavily tattooed person, and I got my first tattoo when I was 12 years old. It would actually turn out to be quite prophetic. It was my name in flames, and my life has been chaos. My life has been addiction. My life has been pain. I was disconnected from everything around me, disconnected from reality itself. There was times when my body didn't feel like it was my own. times when I was barely clinging onto reality with my fingertips. But it is now, through hindsight, through self-reflection, that I'm able to make this video for you now and tell you again, breathing, self-care, simple structure and routine for your day will be the way that you get through this pain, that will get you through this very difficult and trying time. And I know you will heal. You will heal and you'll become a person that you never thought possible. Even now I am fully healed. I have one more course to do, then I'll be a fully qualified therapist. I've come to realize during my studies that the vast majority of knowledge therapists and psychiatrists have to learn is pretty much irrelevant when it comes to benzodiazepines. Structure, routine, and breathing is what will get you through this day. And I can truly say this with absolute certainty. Today is all that matters. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is never going to arrive. The anxiety of the future and the depression of the past do not exist. But sadly, our minds and our bodies do not know the difference between a perceived threat and an actual threat. That is why your mind is on constant high alert. That is why your nervous system can be in permanent fight, flight, or freeze. But you can get through this with your breathing and your mindfulness. And I will upload more videos for you. I am sorry if I'm not very entertaining when I do these videos, but as I mentioned, I am quite introverted, and making videos and uploading them to social media is not something I ever thought I would do. I find social media to be one of the most destructive things in Western world today. I am a huge fan of YouTube, and I do recommend watching videos that you find comforting and relaxing. Stay away from short form content. It is causing more chaos within your mind, keeping you detached from the here and now. Try watching a movie or a TV show that you've enjoyed in the past. This will help our mind to calm down. It will know what is going to come along. That, along with slow, mindful, deep breathing, will help your body and your mind to calm down, to go into a parasympathetic nervous state, to help you go into rest and digest, to not be stuck in permanent flight or freeze. I get it, and I know that you're going to get through this. All of the negativity online is not what you need. You need positive thoughts. You need positive actions throughout your day. You do not need negativity. You do not need self-pity. You need your structure and your routine for your day. You are not broken. Your mind and your body is stuck in survival mode. You will heal. Our minds and our bodies have an amazing capability to heal and recover from even the darkest of places. I know that all too well. I've touched on a little bit about myself, but I also want to share this with you. I took my last pill in 2021. I have mentioned this before, but I was rushed into hospital at the end of 2021 and I weighed 50 kilos. Despite my lifelong health and fitness addiction, during my taper, I was totally detached from everything, totally detached from reality itself, including my body. Depersonalisation was a constant thing I had to deal with. I had no idea my body was wasting away. I was collapsing. I was in hell, basically not knowing what was real and what was not real. I was rushed into hospital. I was gone. My body was decimated by both the benzodiazepines and late stage HIV. I had full-blown AIDS. One of my addictions was a sex addiction, always trying to make a connection with the world through anything I could: alcohol, drugs, sex, you name it. I tried everything in an effort to become whole. Sadly, none of that stuff would work. My life would carry on down a dark road. You may be able to see up there, I've got a couple of pictures of my daughter, and I adore my daughter. She's amazing. And I made some mistakes throughout my life, but my daughter has grown into a wonderful young lady. She's 17 years old. Sadly, I had to send her back to live with her mum, but not because of what you may think. She was the victim of vile racial bullying at school. And despite how the British government pretends that they care about racism and bullying, they actually don't. But I don't want to get into that on this video because I'm not a negative person. Life throws challenges at us on a daily basis, and it is how we can come through the other side, of the darkness that we experience. And the person we become after the dark times is the person we are meant to be. So even though my life has been consumed with pain, with misery and addiction, I have come to understand that healing is always possible through mindfulness, breathing, and a small, simple routine, and an understanding that where you are right now in this moment, when you're watching this, will not be forever. What I would like you to try after you watch this video: put your phone down, try to sit, take 5 slow, deep, mindful breaths. The chaos in your mind may not subside, but it will teach your mind and your body that you are safe in this moment. And this moment is truly all that matters. Try to stay away from stimulants. Caffeine, sugars are not good for you during this time. I understand that what we put into our bodies is truly what matters, especially during this time. I did touch on earlier that I was a health and fitness addict for most of my life, and that is one of the reasons I am still alive today. I mentioned to you how badly my body was decimated due to late stage AIDS. So I want to show you a picture of where I am at now in this present moment. Not only have I healed from the nightmare of benzodiazepines, I have rebuilt my body over the last 3 years. I have become a person I never thought possible. So I'm going to show you a picture of me where I am now. I will warn you, it's a topless picture. That's another thing I thought I would never do: post a topless picture of myself online. The vanity, the ego of everybody online. You seem to find if a guy is over 50 years old and has abs, they're topless in every video. The ego and the narcissism online is comical. But I do want to show you this just as an example to let you know how far you can come with consistency, with structure, and with routine. Eating healthier foods will also help you during this time. Keeping yourself hydrated and structure and routine, you will get through today. And today is all that matters. And I do know that you will heal. I truly do understand that now, especially during the holiday seasons, it can seem like you are cut off from the world, that nothing will ever be the same again. But it's during this time that you will come to understand what is truly important, and that is your day. Getting through today is truly the only thing you need to do This moment is all you need to do, and that you will understand that is the way to live your life. Nothing is forever. I do want to touch on the subject of suicidal thoughts. I was consumed by the thoughts of wanting it all to end. And to be very honest with you, I did try on more than one occasion, not during my benzodiazepine taper. I had previously tried to end things on multiple occasions throughout my life. I can honestly say I am so grateful I failed. I am so pleased I made it through the hell that was my life, because I'm here now and I'm able to make this for you, to let you know that you're going to be okay, to let you know that you're going to heal. So concentrate on your mindfulness, your breathing, a simple routine of self-care, and you will get through today, and you will get through every single day after this, and you will heal, and you will become a person you never thought possible. And I understand how dark and lonely things are for you right now as you're watching this. But please know that you're going to get through this, and please know that you will heal. So you keep going every single day, and you keep fighting, and you never stop, you never give up.